Hello, welcome to Talking Games. Just finished Sheffield United 2, West Ham United 2. Lots of drama all in the last few minutes at Bramall Lane there. We'll discuss the highlights, and there's a lot to get through, actually. 4 goals, 2 red cards, 1 penalty, 1 possible penalty not given right at the death as well. Lots and lots of controversy surrounding this game. I'm going to try my best to do it in order. At the minute, it feels a little bit like we've been robbed. My raw emotion is that we've been robbed a bit there. I didn't feel like... But anyway, I'm already going off a tangent. I'm in chat. If you're new here, please do subscribe. Approximately 1/3 of you that watch this video has not subscribed to the channel. So let's get rid of that statistic. Click the subscription button. Also, drop a like on the video as well by clicking a thumbs up. Helps out this video, helps out the channel, makes me very happy. And I could do with achieving up after that game as well. Because bare bones for West Ham today. The starting 11 come out, didn't know what to make of it. It was sort of, could we do, and is there much more he could have done? And I thought he could have maybe been a bit more creative with the players available. Well, he was actually creative. Danny Ings started in a number 10 role. Jared Bowen started up front, which isn't something I was really expecting, truth be told, when you saw who was actually starting for us. Anyway, we made it 1-0 after 28 minutes. Maxwell Cornet with a goal. Danny Ings, good play down the right-hand side. Back to Danny Ings, does well to get his shot away, deflected into the path of Cornet. Fantastic finish nonetheless from him. But I don't think he had a particularly great game, Cornet, but good to see him score, and that's what he needed. I hope, now hopefully we can see him come out of his shell a little bit. Didn't really feel like that for the rest of the half. It was a good goal from him, but that was pretty much it. Sheffield United made it 1-1 just before the break. Brereton, Díaz, long throw in from Robinson. They were causing us bother. I say causing us bother. We were dealing with them. It was the second ball that was causing us trouble. Cleared out by Ward-Prowse. It came back in. Trusty with a header to the back post. Fell down to Brereton Díaz, who he does really well. Takes away from Ward-Prowse and smashes it into the back of the Areola with no chance. So at 1-1 at half-time, I appreciate I'm jumping to the half-time pretty quickly here, but I have to. Otherwise, I could almost speak for about an hour about this game. So I'm going to try and condense it as much as I can. In the first half, I thought we saw 2 scrappy teams. I don't think it was a brilliant affair for the neutral, but I think from a Sheffield United fan point of view, you'll be disappointed with your defensive errors in there. It was very scrappy, but I think they had a plan and it was working to some extent. From our perspective, we were also scrappy, a few errors from us, and we had a plan. And I would argue that was working to some extent, which was, press the Sheffield United defence, and they will give us opportunities. And I thought they were doing that. Sheffield United were trying to go quite direct, trying to get in around our box, and they were getting a bit of joy with it as well. So I think both managers will probably feel like their game plans were working at halftime. But I think from a fan's perspective, it wasn't particularly enjoyable to watch in regards to quality. There wasn't much composure going on from either side. And it was 2 poor teams playing each other. And it was an entertaining game because of how poor each team was. But I always felt like there was more goals coming. And we had to wait until the 78th minute when West Ham got a penalty, the first penalty of the game. And Danny Ings won it, and it's a Stonewall penalty. It's just clumsy from Hammer. There's nothing malicious there. It's just he catches Danny Ings. Danny goes. Ward-Prowse, fantastic pen. I have to admit, I was nervous when I saw Ward-Prowse take it. I know he took him from Southampton, but I can recall him missing a couple for the Saints as well. So I was a little bit iffy. I didn't have the confidence that Mark Noble used to give me whenever we got a penalty, but he dispatched it really well down the middle of the goal. 2-1 up. And then this is where controversy begins. In the 91st minute, Rhian Brewster gets sent off. I don't think there's any debate about this whatsoever. It was a horrific tackle. But I'll tell you, the most controversial thing about that wasn't Brewster's red card. It was actually Coufal's yellow card, because it was obviously going to go on and have a huge impact later on in the game in a few minutes' time. It was just stupid from Brewster. I say frustration. He was even on the pitch long enough to get that frustrated or pent up. It was just a horrible foul from him. The one thing I will say I'm pleased at, now I'm aware it resulted in a yellow card for Coufal. I just don't think Coufal should have been booked in that instance. But I'm pleased by the reaction of other players. We just seen us get bullied by Bristol City on 2 occasions where tackles like that were going in and our team weren't doing anything about it. One's gone in on Emerson, and to see Souček, Coufal, Ward-Prowse all go over and start squaring up to Brewster, and I think McBurnie did well for Sheffield United standpoint to get in the way of Brewster and just stop everyone getting to him. But it was nice to see a reaction from our players. I think the reaction from our players probably made the referee a little bit nervous. When he went to hand him the yellow card, Brewster, I think the referee's head had gone. He didn't know what to do. He did not look comfortable giving Brewster a yellow card. It was almost like he wanted to give him a red card, but bottled it because he knew he had VAR to bail him out if he had to. The referee did not look confident. It didn't look like he was diffusing the situation whatsoever. And I thought he had an okay game up until this point, the ref, truth be told. I didn't think there was much for him to deal with, but what he had to deal with, I thought he did relatively well. But this is where he needed to stamp his authority on the game, and I don't think he did. And I think the rest of the match, the following 10 minutes, became an utter chaos and shambles, maybe as a result of that. But I felt like he was absolutely mugged off. Anyway, he books Coufal. I don't know why, but he books Coufal. 2-3 minutes later, Coufal ends up getting sent. Well, 5 minutes later, sorry, he gets sent off, second yellow. Now, this I've got no complaints about. This is 100% a yellow card, and it's 100% a red card because of the second yellow. The first one, I don't know what he's been booked for. He's obviously done something that we've not seen, but Coufal should know better. At this point, Coufal should know he's on a yellow card. He can't do that. As soon as he does it, he gives the referee no option. Coufal has to get sent off at that point. And then we get the penalty for Ollie McBurnie. I don't think it's a pen. I don't think it's a pen. Now, as Sheffield United score, we go down to the end. Ben Johnson puts a cross in. Jared Bourne's wrestled to the ground. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that's a pen either. And this is where I don't think the referee can have it both ways. Because whilst if he's going to give the McBurnie one as a pen, which he did, then I think you have to possibly give the Jared Bourne one as a pen as well. Essentially, what you've just done is Ariola's come out and bumped into. He hasn't clattered McBurnie, right? He's not punched him in the face. He's bumped into his back. That's what Ariola's done. He's bumped into the back of Ollie McBurnie. It's not an obvious foul. VAR is for clear and obvious fouls. Is that obvious? I don't think it is. If you're going to watch it 10 times, and then maybe it does become obvious it's a foul, maybe you convince yourself there's a foul in there. I just don't see how he's giving it as a penalty for Sheffield United. The ball's behind McBurnie before Areola makes contact with him. They both go for the ball, they both miss the ball, and they make physical contact. Shock horror, goalkeeper and striker touch each other, not like that, touch each other in the 6-yarder after a cross comes in. It's going to happen. Things like that happen all the time. But I take you back to the very start of the game, 10 minutes in, maybe. I don't know when. It could be 20 minutes in. Before Cornet scored, Danny Ings had an opportunity. We took a quick throw in. Coufal flicked it on. Ings took a shot. Vladimir banged into Danny Ings, clattered into Danny Ings. That's not a pen, and I don't think it was a pen. There was a light shout from Thomas Souček, so there, that's a pen. Even Danny Ings knew it wasn't, because that happens all the time when the striker has an effort, then gets knocked by the defender or the goalkeeper trying to block it. Those are never given as fouls. So he didn't give that as a foul, and that I agree with. So why is he giving Areola bumping into the back of McBurnie? It's not impeding McBurnie's opportunity to get a shot away. I don't understand why he's giving that as a pen. Well, I do. The only thing he's giving it for is because, probably because he sent Brewster off and he feels guilty or something. And second of all, the crowd and the Sheffield United players all react, which screams penalty, and it's probably persuaded him to give it to the home side. There's just no way a pen. The last one, Asmodic, I don't know how you pronounce his name, the guy that starts with A, Asmodic, or whatever his name, brings down Jared Bourne. I'm not even sure that's a pen. But if you're going to give the one on McBurnie, I think that becomes a penalty. I think Bourne's got a hold of him. Is he pushing Bourne to the ground? He is. But I think Bourne's also holding on to him as well. I think neither of them are pens. But if you're going to give the one for Sheffield United, I think you've got to give that one to West Ham as well. And it's the lack of consistency that frustrates me a lot. So you've got an occasion in the first half where their keeper clatters into our attacker. Nothing given, rightly so. Our keeper clatters into, he doesn't, but let's just call it that. Our keeper then clatters into theirs. That's given. Then you've got their centre-back wrestling our striker to the ground. That's not given as well. There's just lack of consistency there. There's 3 not identical but similar-ish challenges in regards to what is actual the foul play here. And the referees just completely bottled it tonight, actually, and it's cost us. Did we deserve to win the game? Maybe not. maybe not. I think it was actually quite an even game. I think both teams were poor. Sheffield United fans might feel like they deserve to win over the course of 90 minutes, but I think a draw would have been a fair result at the back of that. But I do feel the referees robbed us there at the end of that game. I just don't get why. I just don't get why that's a penalty. I absolutely hate it. I understand why people think it's a penalty on Jared Bowen, by the way. I completely understand it. You don't have to convince me why you think it is. I just don't think it is. I think centre backs will always wrestle with strikers like that, and I think Bowen's given it just not as much maybe, but I think Bowen's also got his hands on the centre back and he's pulling him down on top of him. So I think it's a difficult one, but I think that becomes a pen because of the Sheffield United one, and it's frustrating. It's hard to come away not feeling like you've been mugged off a little bit there by the referee. Now, Coufal shouldn't have done what he'd done. He got sent off. Does it cost us the game? I'm not convinced. In fact, no, it hasn't cost us the game whatsoever. You could argue it's good play by Coufal, even though he knows he's getting sent off because they were breaking. McAtee played out to the left to Norrington Davies, I think it was. He was away down that left-hand side. Coufal knew it. He's possibly thought there's 3 minutes on the clock. Reaction is I'm going to take my yellow, get sent off, or hope the referee bottles it and doesn't send me off. So you could argue Coufal does the right thing there, takes one for the team if you like, but it's hard, actually. I feel really angry with the referee at the back of that result. Result-wise, I think a draw before the game, I would have taken one. Again, you do have to convince me. If we want top 6 football, you have to win today. We have to win. But if we want top 10 football, I think a draw is a good result. And I think, given the players that we were missing, I think it possibly is a good result. And like I said, the nature of the game, the way it was played out, I think it's a fair result at the end of it. But I can't help feel the referees just robbed us of an opportunity there, actually, and it's just I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy. I don't like blaming referees. I dislike it a lot. Like Bristol City, I thought he was crap. The referee was crap, but it wasn't his fault we lost. It was his fault that we went down to 10 men, but we were losing before we went down to 10 men. It wasn't his fault. But today, I do feel the referees cost us 2 points there today, actually. If Moyes is going to kick off post-match, I'm going to side with him on this one. It doesn't mean we deserve to win, but we were winning 2-1 up until all this started happening. And then that's when the referee had to stamp authority on that game, take control of it, and he did the complete opposite. I thought he lost control for the last 10 minutes of that game. Not a fan of it at all. In regards to West Ham, in regards to the game before the controversy at the end there, I think it was 2 poor teams. I think it was 2 teams that were missing. Well, West Ham were missing key players. I think it was Sheffield United, a side low of confidence. Chris Wilder hasn't quite worked out what his best team is. I think both managers got some things right and some things wrong. A lot of individual errors out on that pitch today, lacking quality at key times from both teams. West Ham wise, they say Ben Johnson changed the game. Maybe not. He changed the midfield, though. That dribbling he had, that dynamic part of the game that he had, we were lacking that throughout the game until Ben Johnson came on. Who'd have thought Ben Johnson coming on to centre mid would have been a really good, well, David Moyes, obviously, but I thought it worked. I think there's a real obvious man in match for West Ham today, but mugged off. I really do feel absolutely mugged off from this game, actually. I feel like we deserve the win because of the scoreline and the referee, not necessarily because of our performance. Like I said, Sheffield United fans can come on here and make an argument as to why they deserve to win the game. I get it, right? You probably had more shots. You probably had more shots on target. I think they played all right. Played like that for the rest of the season. Will they stay up? Probably not, but they'll pick up points. They'll do better than the 9 points that they've got on board prior to today's game. I think today was a big test for West Ham. Can you do it without Paqueta and Kudus? And in spells in that game, the answer was, well, we've got something. It's not as good, but we've got something. I think we missed Edson Alvarez in the first half especially. I thought McAtee was picking up positions in front of our defence that I really didn't like. I thought Ward-Prowse and Souček's positioning was really poor today in the first half especially, where they were picking up that pockets and Brereton Díaz was coming off the left wing, causing us all sorts of bother as well. But we were 2-1 up. We were 2-1 up. We deserved to win the game in that regard. So, until the referee got involved in it and got things wrong, in my opinion, we were walking out of there with 3 points. That would be significant because to be coming to this game 6 and to win without Alvarez, Kudus and Paqueta would have been a wonderful achievement for us. And I would have come away thinking, do you know what? Maybe we can get European football. Maybe there is that bit about us. Had we won today, we'd have 7 away victories in Premier League. Only Manchester City have got 7 wins away from home so far this season. That's fantastic. That's an incredible statistic to go on, to perform going into the rest of the season. We've got tough games coming up with Bournemouth, Man United, and Bournemouth and Arsenal, but that we should have won. We should have got the 3 points today. Man of match, Danny Ings. I thought he was superb. When I saw the lineup, I'll be honest, I wrote, again, do we have to? Because I thought he was going to be the striker, Bourne on the right, Cornet on the left, and I was in the 10. And I was struggling to be optimistic that he was going to be the man today. But he was the man today. I thought he was man of match for us by a country mile. I thought he was brilliant in the first half and good in the second half. Not as good, not as impactful. Sheffield United pushed us a bit more and we sat back a bit more in the second half. Got the penalty, deserved a goal. Danny Ings deserved a goal today. Unlucky at the end. He had a couple of shots blocked by defenders. Took a shot off Ben Johnson's. Ben Johnson was lining up a 30-yarder and Danny Ings took it off his foot and had the effort himself. Deflected into keeper's hands. The first half shot deflected into Cornet, scored the goal. So on another day, Ings might get his goal. But I think he deserved it, actually. I thought he played really well today. Is it enough to sort of get me excited when we play Bournemouth that Ings is going to be the man? No. But I thought he was really good. I think he had his best game for us since he joined. I mean, it's taken over a year, pretty much a year since we've signed him, isn't it? It's taken a year, but I think that was his best performance by far in a West Ham shirt. I mean, the bar is low, but I thought he had a good game. The players worked hard today, lacking quality. I think Cornet worked hard, got his goal, but some poor play from Cornet today. You know, the booking that James Ward-Prowse picked up, it was poor control from Cornet. And once he did control, he sort of stood still as it got nicked off him. Fornals tried hard, but some of his passes were either overhit or timid. At one point in the second half, Emerson made the run down the left. It was a simple pass to make. It was just short by half a yard for absolutely no reason. Ward-Prowse is sort of neat and tidy in possession, but not much going forwards. Souček dominant in the air, but exposed on the floor, which is, I guess, what we see every week. And our defence were put under the cosh, stood up well, I think, actually. I think Mavropanos and Zuma, while they weren't perfect, they had to deal with a lot today. And most of the chances for Sheffield United happened in front of them rather than in behind them. And that, I think they possibly did their job to the minimum. But a difficult game for both of those when you've got different strikers to play against you, different characters, different styles, changing all the time as well. They had 4 different strikers up against them today, and I think they did all right. I think Areola did good. The sub taking Fabianski on was a bold call. I think unless Areola wanted to go off, which I struggle, he didn't look like he wanted to go off. He didn't look happy about going off. And bringing Fabianski on now, statistically over their careers, Areola has a better save percentage at penalties than what Fabianski does for a start. Bringing on Fabianski was an interesting one. I do think Sheffield United played a blinder there. I think McAtee holding that ball, because when you see McBurnie's goal, the pen, Fabianski hasn't a clue. He's rooted to the spot. He dives the right way, but it's so late. He might as well not bother. McBurnie hits it before Fabianski dives. And that, to me, would suggest Fabianski didn't know McBurnie was taking the pen. I think we've put Fabianski on to say, right, this is what McAtee's going to do. He's going to put it here, go here. Fabianski's come on. They switch penalty taker, and Fabianski's going, hang on a minute. This is not the guy I was ready for. Because the dive from Fabianski is so delayed, it would indicate he hasn't a Scooby. But it's a really good penalty from McBurnie. And it's a bit of a tactic that everybody does today. But I think it's worked wonders, actually. I think McAtee and Sheffield United played a blinder taking that pen, because I don't think we had a clue what they were going to. I didn't think that we knew McBurnie was going to take that one. And it's completely caught Fabianski out altogether. So not ideal. Frustrating, really frustrating. What I will say is, because before the game, I might have taken a point. I've still got Antoine Fernand's words ringing in my head, which is when you've got an injury crisis, don't lose. Just don't lose. Get your big players back and then start picking up your points again. And I've always had that. Bowen starting was a big boost to me. I thought, okay, maybe we've got something now. And once, the 90th minute, we're winning 2-1, Brewster's got sent off. I'm thinking, we've won this. Surely we're going to sit in, defend our box. We've done it up until now. We're going to do it now. And I just think the referees had too much of a say today, and I don't like it. A lot's going to disagree with me. That's fine. It's football. We all have opinions. I'm not saying I'm right. It's just my opinion. I just don't think it was a pen. And I'm finding it really hard to stomach. And it's overshadowing everything else right now in regards to the quality or lack of quality from West Ham. When you feel like you've been mugged off by the ref, it's hard to concentrate on anything else directly after the game. But I'm going to shut up and disappear. If you've enjoyed this review, please do drop a like on by clicking thumbs up. Subscribe to Hammers Chat. I'll be live tomorrow morning to discuss the game in a bit more of a calm control measure, maybe. Can't guarantee that, but I'll be here to discuss the game. I'll catch up with you then.